Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. So another quarterly update. Seems like we just did one, and in some ways we just did because I'm actually shooting this one a few weeks early because of the work schedule, and I'm taking off again. I had to sneak this one in, but there was some good questions and some great stuff that came in. So I'm going to go ahead and cover it, and if I missed anything in that little 3-week period, I will catch it on the next one. Some great questions came in this time, so I'll go over them kind of one at a time here and give you the answers. I got asked for pictures of the cradle in use as well as the dresser. We literally just got back yesterday from the birth of the first grandchild, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't take that many pictures of those items in use. There's a ton of pictures of me with the baby, but I didn't think about it when I was there, but I will get some, and I'll put that on the list for next time. I got asked what size were the dominos in the cradle. Apparently I didn't cover that very well in the video, and they were 4x20s that I put in to hold those slats. They don't really have any structural, just a little bit of lateral from small hands, so I thought that was more than sufficient. I got a request to see my wife's quilting room again, of all things, and as luck would have it, one of the videos that I had to get done for while I was gone this time was that quilt ladder. So that project is complete, and that video will be coming out, I believe, August 13th, and there will be a full tour of her quilting room. For those that stick around to the end, they can see that, but there will be a full tour of her quilting room in that video. I got asked on the Table Lazy Susans what blade I am running on the bandsaw to get such clean cuts. That is a 1/4 inch 10 TPI blade, which gives me those great cuts on thinner material like 1 inch, maybe 1.25 inches. I get those kind of cuts, but when you get to the thicker stuff, it does not do quite as well because you're trying to remove, you don't have the room to get rid of the dust out of the blade. But in the thinner stuff, that 10 TPI blade for me, it just works great, and that's a Resaw King that's on that particular saw. Thanks to everybody for the feedback on Ray's shop tour. That was a lot of fun for me. We were there visiting the baby, and so I took the time to go shoot that shop tour there. Ray's shop is just, it's a lot of fun to work on projects in. So thanks again to Ray and his family. I got asked, how long does it take me to wax all those clamps every year? And reality is not as long as you might think. I know there's a lot of clamps on that wall. But it's one of those things, if you stay on top of it, it's really not too bad. I think those probably real time took me a couple hours to get through and clean up and get waxed again. I got asked if I sharpen all of my chisels and planes or if I just sharpen the ones that get used most. And the fact is I don't really keep track of which ones I use and which ones I don't. So I touch them all, or I at least verify them all. Some of them just get a little strop for a touch-up because they haven't been used at all, mainly some of the wider ones. Obviously the more common ones get a little bit more attention in the sharpening, but they all get looked at and evaluated. I got asked again too about the saw blades that I sent out for sharpen, and those are back. So that was great. I actually had 2 questions on that, and the first was, how many blades do I keep on hand? I currently keep 4 of those blades on hand, and I try to ship them out 2 at a time. So 2 blades shipped to Forest and return cost me $65. So I really didn't think that was bad for 2 blades being sharpened and just like brand new in the in the drawer, especially when you look at the price tag on those blades. That's pretty well money spent. And the other question I got was, what do I do in this shop when I leave for such long periods of time? And I thought that was a great question because I haven't really thought about it. I just go through the motions and do it. I do tend to unplug things. I unplug the saws. I make sure there's no batteries in the chargers. I unplug pretty much everything. So it takes me a minute or two when I get back to get everything plugged in and back up and running. But as far as, waxing surfaces and stuff like that, I'm pretty blessed here in Northwest Montana. It's fairly dry. I don't have any rust issues. So my once a year waxing on all those, or sometimes it's more, but usually once a year with a good coat of wax on them is sufficient for me in my shop. Now, if I were in a more humid climate, I would probably do things way, way different. Maybe some lubricant of some kind on it or something. I know there's a product and I'm trying to think of it, but it's escaping me because I don't ever have to use it. But I would probably, coat them in something different, or at least make sure they had a great coat of wax on them before I was going to leave them unattended for a few months like I do. So again, thanks guys for all the questions. So what's coming up? I have a whole list of videos here that are coming up, and some of this stuff you see already here because those videos are shot and they're sitting in my bank ready to go. So I have the content release. That router table enclosure is coming up. That one should be coming up fairly soon. Quick and easy bookshelves. These are literally a one-day build, and they have the big finger joints on them. You guys get to see them all done. But this is a video that's coming up. I did a review on the box joint jig at the router table, so I have that coming up. Obviously, I told you I had the quilt ladder. That one is coming up. I did drawer organization over here, so that video is coming up. That one's a little bit different because it's not really a lot of woodworking, or at least not difficult woodworking. So I tend to put things in a little bit of a kind of a high-speed motion and let you see the entire drawer setup and how I laid it out and how I got there and all that. It's kind of a cool video. And then I have a video coming on planer sleds. Back when I had a smaller planer, that was an issue. Now that I have a 16-inch joiner and a 15-inch planer, I'm not using the planer sleds anymore. But I did still have one left over from when I had the smaller planer, so I got asked to kind of go over how they work and how to set them up. And so that's what that video is. And that old adage comes out, which do you buy first, the planer or the joiner? And I would say the planer, because with a sled you can perform that function to get a flat side and then turn it over without the sled to get the parallel second side. But you can't get the edge jointed, so you have to find other means to do that. But it's certainly doable. So which comes first? To me, the planer. But that video is coming. There's still lots of other projects planned for this year, but I don't know my work schedule. I am really getting anxious to get after another big piece of furniture. I still have another bedroom in the house to do. So I'm ready for a big project, but we'll see when I get back from this job how much time I have to maybe get after a big piece of that furniture. And we're looking into adding a building to the property. I'm not going to let too much out on that because I doubt very seriously it'll be done this year. But we're at least starting to explore that particular project. And part of that will be like a mother-in-law apartment in it. And if we go down that road, obviously there'll be lots of videos around that particular project. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see. As well, if I get held up on this job, there could be a hiatus video, meaning I'm out of content. So, but there's a pretty cool giveaway in that hiatus video. So hopefully I don't get held up too long on this job and don't need it, but if I do, there's a cool giveaway coming your guys' way. The social media stuff, nothing's really changed on the website. Everything's up to date and good to go. The affiliate page is still doing great. I'll certainly take more your use of the affiliate page, whether it's me or another content creator. Using their affiliate page is a huge help to keep the lights on. Instagram, with just such a crazy work year, I would have flooded Instagram like there's no tomorrow trying to keep up with projects. And because I don't want to post a whole bunch of projects and then have 3 months where there's nothing, I've held some of those back. Some of them are up, some of them are back. So I'm going to try to space these projects out a little bit more. For instance, as of this taping, these guys I don't think are even up there yet. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of that. YouTube, again, it's just a crazy year for YouTube, but everything is shot and edited and in the bank and ready to go. So I'm hoping that there's plenty of content to last until I get back. And the forum site, again, it's all about the members, and we'd love to have more members and more good conversations. We've had some new members, so welcome to them. And I try to get in and say hello to everybody. I don't always get to do that, but I try to stay active in the conversations that are in there. So that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. I hope you got something out of it. Please feel free to send me your questions. All of the information is down in the show notes, and I love to get them, and I love to answer them. You notice I don't ever put out anybody's name or anything along those lines. So please send me your questions. So until next time, guys, take care.